Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Gift and you're welcome to Gift and See Couture. Thank you for stopping by. So today's tutorial, I will be showing you how to draft a Victorian corset. Um, what we are going to do is that we are going to draft our basic bodice measurements. Alright, that's what we'll be using. So from here, so this is the front. Alright, so now the front is you'll be needing your shoulder. So let's take 1 inch as the top length. Then you connect the lines together. Alright. You connect the lines together. So now my full front length is 17, which is also my half length. Alright, then you connect it. Then from there I'll measure my hips measurement, which is 8. My hip length rather 8. So in this tutorial I'll be using my measurement to draft it. You can as well use your own measurement and then you connect the lines, this one. So from here I'm going to bring down my shoulder. My shoulder front is 12.5. I'll divide it by 2. I don't really need it. Alright, so I'll connect one and then take it back. Alright, then from here I'm going to measure half inch. So actually use 1 inch to bring it down, then use half inch to get the shoulder slant. Alright, so since we are not going to be needing the measurement, so from here, this is how you place your tape rule from here. So my bust point is 9.5, sorry. Alright, this is my 9.5 and my under bust, like my under bust is 12.5. I don't really have bust. Alright, so this is it. Please note the what's it called, the Victorian corset is like bustier. The difference is just the snatching, the waist snatching and the boning. Alright, and how to insert your boning, that you need to manipulate to get the snatching. So let's continue. So from here, this I'm going to measure 4 inches and then divide it. Alright, so this is my chest line. This is my chest line. So let me take 2 inches here. So this is my chest line. So let's continue. So on this chest line, I don't really need it, but for the sake of our time. So now this is my, from here, this is how you measure from here. This is my 9.5, alright, which is my bust point. This is my bust point. Alright, my under bust, my waist and my hip. So now my bust is 34. Alright, this is it. Oh yeah. My under bust is 29. This is 29 divided by 4, you have 7.2. This is my waist, which is 28 divided by 4, I'll have 7. My bust is 36 divided by 4, I'm going to get 6. Alright, so this is how you do now. How to get the dots here where you are going to share whatever you have here. This is 1.7 divided by 3. Alright, that's for the front. 1.7 divided by 3, you share it on here. That is 0.6, the one 0.6 and the other one 0.5. Alright, but I'm going to maintain 0.5. So if I'm connecting it, I'll connect it to this bust point. So from here to here. Alright, and then from your waist to your hip length. Okay, now, so the bust line the 2 inches bust lines, I'm bringing it down here. All right, and then I'm not going to leave it like that. I'm going to share it by 2, and then connect it to this bust point, which is the apex 2, and then connect it. Don't forget there is one here. I'm going to slash this one. Okay, so let's continue. Note we've already shared this dart. So for the, if you measure it now, this is, let's recalculate my waist. This is 3 inches. From here it has reduced. All right, my waist is reduced already, so this is 24. All right, so one, like 2 inches is already gone. Now from this chest line, okay, now how to get your round neck measurement is you divide your bust by 8. After dividing it by 8, you add 1 to it, and then you divide it by 2 again. So I've already done that. Mine is 20, mine is 2.5. I'll measure 2.5 down, 2.5 down, 2.5 down, and then connect, take in by 1 inch and then connect it. I don't know where my French cuff is. Sorry about that. So that's it. And then what next? Now my across chest. In case I'm doing this, in case you want to use yoke, all right, you want to cut it with the yoke. Now my across chest is 12. All right. Please note there is no sewing allowance here. So whatever I have here, I'll bring it down here. So now the distance from here, how to contour your armhole, the distance from this your across chest to your bust, to where your bust stops. Remember my bust is 34, so the distance from here to here, whatever you have for the front, note for the front you divide it by 4. So what I'm going to write here is what I'm going is divided by 4. So this is 0.5. all right, and the distance from here, distance from here to here, whatever you have, you divide it by 2, which is 2.2, and then you take it in by 3 inches. 0.5. Please don't get confused. This is my chest. We don't really want it to. Now I'm going to take, this is my armhole. I'm going to take it in, take it down by 1.2. All right, and then this way I want it to come down a bit, which is I'm using what's it called? I'm using 7.5. All right, so from this 7.5 here, you know, most times, most of the Victorian corset that you we normally see is, it has this sweetheart neck. So I'm going to bring it down here, from here. All right, so we are cutting this one out, please. All right, from here, you are not going to leave it like this, assuming it's just your normal bustier. Note you divide this, whatever you have from your shoulder, you divide it by 2. Now I have, for the distance from your armhole to your neckline, you divide it by 2. So I have 4, I'm dividing it by 2. I'll take it down to my apex. All right, so that's it. Now whatever I have here, now let's say from my waist measurement, I have 4.7. So 4.7 divided by 2 is going to give you 2.3. So that 2.3 you are going to share, going to snatch the waist very well. So I'm using 1 inch. So the 1 inch I'm going to share the dart, all right, on both sides. That's half, and then connect it. So now the front pattern is not going to give me 2 pieces, it's going to give me 3 pieces for the front pattern. So let's cut it out. Before cutting it out, I'm going to add 1.5 inches allowance. Oh, thank you, Jesus. I've forgotten. Now, we've not done our bust tightening. Please don't go away. So from here to here, you know, this is our bust and under bust. So from this under bust, this is how you get your bust tightening. Whatever you have, like the difference between your bust and your under bust. My bust is 34. My under bust is under bust circumference is 29. So the difference, like 34 minus 9, 34 minus 29, whatever you have, you divide it by 6. All right, so I've already done the calculation. I'm sorry I don't have calculator here with me, and I'm using my phone for the recording. So it's giving me 0.8. all right, so this is the 0.8 for the underboss, and then you connect it. Okay, as you can see, here, you connect it and then connect it to your half length. All right, now this one is my bust tightening note. So I want to add 1.5 inches for the seam allowance. All right, so this is the hinge. All right, so let's cut it. So since I'm not making use of the front, so this is how I'll do it. This is where you slash this. The 2 inches that we put, we are going to cut it out now. All right, so I'm done using my masking tape to tape it down. All right, so I'm not going to leave this place like this. This I forgot. Here I'm going to remove here by half an inch. I'm going to contour this place by 0.5 and then connect it to this point. For of you to leaving point, you just bring it down by half inch and then cut it out. If you are going to insert your boning, this is where it comes from. Okay, so you have to number it so that you won't get confused. I'm not using this marker. Okay, so this is the center front, which is the CF number 1. So this one goes to this. You have to number it so that you won't get confused. This is number 2 and this is the side, which is number 3. All right, side front. All right. So the front, the front was 17 because of this side that. Now from my backbone, like the shoulder, from my shoulder to my neck to waist is 15. All right, so this is the 15 I'm measuring. So this is the 15, and then connect the lines. Okay, so from that point I'll measure 8 inches to get my measurement. Okay, so this is my chest line, like my back shoulder measurement. So you take it down by 1.2, you connect it. So my back measurement, we don't really need this, is 14. All right, my chest measurement, my back chest rather, this is what this one is also 14. I don't really need this, but for the sake of those that will be using yoke. All right, so this is it. So in case I want to use afro, this is my bust line, my bust point, which is 9.5, my bust point, which is 9.5, and then 9.5 there, 9.5, and then connect the line. Okay, So whatever I have, that's 3.7. I divide my bust span rather into 2. Okay, so whatever I have here, I'll divide it by 4. I'll divide it by 3 rather. I'll share it here and here and here. All right, so now we are done. So we are not going to leave this. Remember, we want to remove 1 inch, 1 inch for the back, and then both front and back to snatch the waist. So instead of removing it from the side, I'm removing it from the back, which is the waist measurement, to get the effect here from the nap measurement, and then remove the 1 inch. All right, and share. I'm going to share this by 2. This is 5, 2.5, 2 points. All right, so I'm going to share half inch on both sides. That's 0.2, 0.2, just like what I did in the front. So let's put the seam allowance. So that's 1.5, 1.5. Remember, you are removing the darts totally. You are getting rid of the darts. So that's now, assuming I want to use yoke. Now the only thing I'll just do is, let's say I want my neck to be a little high. Let's say 3.5 is okay, and then I'll bring it down by 2 inches and then connect it. Okay, so now, because you are going to put, what's it called, the looping, the lacing at the back, you are removing 1 inch or 1.5. Let's use 1.5. This is your yoke. Let's just assume you are using yoke. All right, so I'll bring this by bring it down by 1 inch. Sorry, just like what I did in the front. I'll bring it down so I can get the coffee effect. This is, let's say, this is 4, this is 5, and this is 6. All right, so this is the side bar. This is 5, this is 6. So if you're going to just add half inch, all right, you can see just like the way it is now, the dart is removed, the shape is there. So that's it. I hope you learned something. Thank you.